In this video, we will be looking at converting between fractions, decimals, and percents. If you want to convert a fraction to a decimal, you will first need to make sure that the fraction has a denominator of 10, 100, or 1,000, or any other higher power of 10. In this case, I can see that 2 will go into 10 evenly, so I can change it to a denominator of 10 by just multiplying both the 2 and the 5 by 5. 2 times 5 is 10, 1 times 5 is 5. 5 over 10 can now be rewritten as a decimal, 0.5. Let's do another one. If I want to convert, let's say 2/5 to a decimal, I need to again make sure that I have an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 10 or 100. Let's try 100 this time. If I want to get from 5 to 100, I need to multiply 5 times 20. And if I multiply 2 times 20, I get 40. 40 hundredths can be rewritten as a decimal, 0.40 or 0.4. Now, sometimes the answer is not, the lowest common denominator is not that easily visible. So 8 does not go evenly into 10, and it does not go evenly into 100. So when the answer is not obvious, you can always divide the numerator by the denominator. Let's try to do it. I'm going to take 5, my numerator, and I will divide it by the denominator. So my first question is, how many times does 8 go into 5? 0 times. Here's where I put my decimal point. 0 times 8 is 8. 0 times 8 is 0. I'm just doing long division. 5 minus 0 is 5. Now, I can write my 5 as 5.000. I can add as many zeros to the 5 as necessary. Now, the next step to do is I bring down the 0. And my question is, how many times does 8 go into 50? 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 6 is 48. I subtract 48. I end up with 2. I bring down another 0. And my question is, how many times does 8 go into 20? It goes twice. 2 times 8 is 16. I subtract, and I end up with 4. I bring down another 0. And how many times does 8 go into 40? 8 times 5 is 40. Sorry. 8 times 5 is 40. I take away 40, and I'm done dividing. So the answer is 0.625, which translates to 625 over 1,000. As you can see, 8 can be multiplied by something to get 1,000. 5 can be multiplied by the same number. In this case, is 125. And just because you might not know that this is the factor, it's always safe to just do long division and divide the numerator by the denominator. Converting decimals to percents is much more straightforward, because the only thing you need to do is move the decimal point 2 times to the right and add a percent symbol. So if I have 0.7, I'm going to move the decimal point twice to the right, 1, twice, add the 0 in my space, and add a percent. So my answer is 0.7 is equal to 70%. if I have 0.37, I move the decimal point twice to the right, and now my decimal point is after 37, so the answer is 37%. If I have 0.076, I move the decimal point twice to the right, and the decimal point ends up between 7 and a 6, so my answer is 7.6%. Now, we can express percent as decimals and fractions. So, percent means per 100. So, if you look at the first example, you have 9%. All it means is 9 per 100. 9 hundredths. Now, how do I write 9 hundredths as a decimal? I have 0, and then I don't have any tenths. I have 9 hundredths, right? Tenths, hundredths. Now let's look at 20%. So 20% means the same as 20 per 100. So it's 20 hundredths, or 0.20. Again, tenths, hundredths. 20 hundredths can also be expressed as 2 tenths, because this fraction is not in the simplest form. I can divide both by 10 and end up with 2 tenths, which can be rewritten as 0.2.